This session is going to look specifically at how to do kindness practice, how to work with the quality or feeling of kindness directed at ourselves, directed at our own experience in our own life. So for this session, once again, sitting and lying down are both options. If you're lying down, it can be a nice option just to rest a hand on your chest, maybe another on your stomach. The hands actually making contact around the solar plexus or abdominal region. You can also do this in a chair if it's comfortable. But just the soothing, the contact, the kinesthetic contact of the hands onto the body can be a very powerful aid to doing this practice. The first thing we want to know about kindness within the context of mindfulness practice is that it's not an idea. It's quite a bit deeper than simply the thought that we should be nice to people or nicer to ourselves. Within mindfulness practice, kindness is actually a felt sense. It's actually something we feel. And we can use our thoughts and intentions to in some sense, cultivate or develop the feeling. But ultimately, no matter how we get there, kindness as a specific felt feeling tone in the body is the goal. So we'll work with just a few different ways of jump-starting it, if you will. And they'll be just really for different kinds of learners. Different people access all of these practices in different ways. So that's really all we're doing in this course is we're just answering the question, how do you access these qualities the easiest? So our first access point with kindness is jumping straight to the feeling. This is going to be easiest for some of you. And you can just do a check in the body now, hands making contact with the body. And the first thing you're going to look for is just this sense of softening. And it's like there's this unconditional invitation throughout the entire body just to melt and soften and be at enormous ease. It's like you're giving yourself all the permission in the world to let go. And the acceptance of how your mind is at this moment, how your emotional body is, how your physical body is. The contents of all of that are unconditionally accepted. And there's just this radiant feeling in the body. It's like a felt sense, somatic experience of kindness and acceptance. That's like the deepest love you can give yourself. This feeling of being held, of you holding you. those warm palms on your stomach and chest, all of that warmth and softness and love and acceptance. It's like it begins to pervade all of the tissues of the body, every single cell, deep into the marrow of the bones, the organ system. Everything's getting saturated with that softening attention. And one image you might use is just like a sponge soaking up water, like a very dry sponge. We're dry in this way. The system's not lubricated. We don't give ourselves this kind of loving attention. Some of us never give ourselves this attention. And as human beings, the whole system is so hungry for it. And so we just have this sense of, as that warmth and kindness and love feeling field spreads, it begins to permeate the body, and it's just like the body's soaking it in. It's just drinking it in. There's no barriers to it. It permeates absolutely everything in our system. Some of you, as I've been giving these instructions, find it a little bit hard to sense those feeling tones I'm describing. It's like there's something that feels like it's missing, or it's hard to evoke those qualities. That is totally normal, first of all. And if that's the case, one of the great ways to practice is actually to use images and phrases. And so you can try this just for the remainder of the session. You can either just stick with letting the feeling tone of kindness permeate, or you can move into actually using the mind a little bit more. And when I do that, I like to stay simple. So, may I be at ease. May I completely let go. May I completely absorb love. May I be completely open to this kindness. May I be healthy. May I actually be happy. So just using the phrases, pick one, pick whatever resonates, make your own if one of these doesn't. And you can use that as just an intentional prompt. And just get it moving with the breath. And just saying it to yourself and seeing, just by putting intent on that phrase, see what that's waking up in the felt sense. And if it's bringing you too much into your mind, you can even shorten it. You can just use individual words like ease, healthy, kindness. So whatever's working there. And then lastly, just to close, particularly at the beginning of a sit, you can also use some image. So if there's someone in your life that represents these qualities that we're speaking of, this kindness, someone that, and particularly if it's hard for you to direct this at yourself, is there someone that directed kindness toward you in a way that felt deeply nourishing? It could even be a pet. It doesn't even have to be a human. For years, I watched my cat in the first few minutes doing this practice. So you just evoke that image and receive that attention and quality from them, and then work with the phrases a little bit, all the while focusing on what's happening in the felt sense and waking up that ability to consciously feel kindness.